I'll be right back.
Made it properly tail recursive.
Yeah, I can
Okay,
put that. I can put that in here too. Boom. Okay, I'll be right back. Hey, terrible. Thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. 6-month streak. It's really nice. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, nice. We can do this a bit more. The eye ladies one? This one? All right. So let's see how much farther we can get here. We don't need any Lua ones because we're doing CSS. This LSP config one is going to be where it's quite difficult. So let's see how far we can get here. I'm not sure how much of this is going to look good. But let's try. So we've got repo, Neovim, Nvim, LSP config, and we've got depends, and we can do William Bowman Mason .nvim, William Bowman Mason LSP config.nvim, and who is that Daniel? I think we can do basically all of these. We'll skip fidget for right now, and we'll skip nvim comp because we're gonna have to come back to those. You and Prime left the stream at the same time. I thought you guys were being in sync. Got similar vibes for sure. Okay, so we definitely need to do setup. It says Mason, so we want to go basically setup Mason Mason LSP config. Oh, just Mason probably for right now. We can go setup Mason LSP config, and that looks like this, right? Because then when we do that here, so this is where things are going to definitely be like more complicated, right? Because how are we going to do something like automatically installing these? Probably instead what we could do, Mason tool installer. Is there like a auto install or like Mason LSP config auto install automatic? Because we could just do that instead. true. Yeah, we could just say automatic installation true. Automatic installation true. So let's just try this first, right? And then if we go here, installing Mason Neovim, installing, oh my goodness, it's just installing all of them, which is pretty funny. And then if we go to init Lua, Mason, did it add? It did not. So it doesn't have anything set up right now for LSP for Lua. So that's okay. So I think that's probably because we didn't say that we wanted to set it up. How does the CSS generate the file though? It doesn't. We evaluate this with effectively like a tree walking interpreter. So we basically wrote a CSS interpreter so that we could do this. Let's do ensure installed, and we should be able to do Lua L. Is it Lua ls underscore Mason Lua language server? Okay. Lua language server, like this. Maybe this will work. I don't know. Lua language server is not a valid entry in ensure installed. Oh, it must be just Lua ls, I think. Something like this, right? Oh, dude, that is so freaking funny. It just works. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, it just works. It's no problem. Ensure installed gets overridden sometimes. That's okay. This is fine. It's just as an example to see, like, is it actually working? You know what I mean? So then we need to... So then the question is this working when I edit an init Lua file? LSP info. It's not attached. What do we need to do to tell it to attach? We want to say Lua ls and do something with this, I guess. Because we did this before with... We need to require LSP config for this server. That's right. Okay. Oh, no way. I think this will work. Oh, no, it's not gonna. That's not gonna. Config? What do I have for config so far? Can I do @call here? That's not gonna work, is it? Is the event keyword recognized in that config? Is the event keyword? Oh no, we don't have event yet. I probably won't add lazy loading and other stuff. I think that's stupid. If you're gonna do this, you can just wait the 30 milliseconds for it to start. Well, we can come back to that later if we need to. It's just not an interesting like feature. Okay, so what we need to do is we want to say Mason setup. I guess this is here, right? So we can go. Oh, this is actually as well. Mason tool installer. I think that'll still work. Mason LSP config. So then we should be able to do handlers. I think this should still be a table. Oh, I don't know that we did this so far yet, though. Did we already do this? I don't remember. Well, we could try this. Let's try Lua ls. Lua. Require lsp config .lua ls .setup. Something like this. I got no idea if that's gonna work. Attempt to index user config. User config. What? Oh, do I need to call LSP config setup somewhere? Mason setup. Okay, Mason. Tool installer. Mason LSP config. Handlers. Oh, do I need to go like this? LSP info. Dang. Require Lua require LSP config.lua ls.setup. Okay, yep, so that's fine. We need to do it like this. But I don't know that this is attached still. Oh, it is attached, but it's not attached to this buffer. So we never called this handlers. Server name. Oh, because Mason LSP config needs to know about this. Sure, installed. Oh, Lua LS. Wait, but doesn't this work? Automatic installation true. Ensure install Lua LS. Mason. Okay, that's a little bit more complicated. So, but how is it calling it before if it didn't even work? Because how is there's no configured servers when it seems like when I was calling this before without doing this, user config. But how are we executing this already? Because shouldn't this be creating a function for this? Lua. This should... Oh no, I need to make a... Oh, I see. Yeah, this is wrong. This is calling this too early, I think. I think we need to do function, something like this. I think we should get function time, right? Nice. Okay, so now we should get... we can basically do this same thing here. Right, we're going to do much more similar to this one. We aren't going to get a function name here. We're just going to say loads. We're going to make a new function where inside of here we call what's inside of this, right? So we're just going to go load string.format, and we'll go return return function. No, it can't pass any other arguments, I don't think. Return function %s, and that's going to be the text inside of here, right? That's this. But we want to just keep this exactly as it is, right? We'll just get these all new lines separated. I think they should all be strings. Assert arg type string value. I think that's probably right. Local body is table concat arguments. And then this should be body, like this. And then this should be like this. Ugh, I hate that. I hate that formatting. Whatever, that's fine. Return body here. Local function ref. Oh, we are creating some content here. Full time. Indeed. And then what we want to do is this. Did we call this one last time? So this should load this string and get this function. And then this should just call... It should just return this function ref. I think. We'll try it. On the Lua config. Right, that's fine. No, that's not fine. It should not be happening yet. It should not be getting evaluated, right? Because that, I don't think that's right. I don't think that that's right. I think that's happening too early. Function, require this. So this should not get... It should happen inside here. I think it should just be like this, maybe? Right? Because it should return a function that we can call. Huh. Mason. Okay, this is installed. Oh, it's going great, Pointer. What about you? So we do have this installed. It just says that it's not configured. Is this not how you're supposed to do this, Mason? LSP config? I guess I don't remember. Setup. Setup servers via LSP config. I don't even remember. It's been a little while. Extra ready subserver. Refer to LSP config saturation. Automatic server setup. Advanced features. Oh, so we still need to do that at some point then. Function. Rust analyzer. Next, you can provide a dedicated handler for specific service. Rust analyzer. Fire Rust tools dot setup. This one will be default handler. Mason LSP config dot setup. Oh, I see. I've scuffed it. This is dot setup handlers, not dot setup. Oh, okay. So this should just be Mason LSP config, like this, I think. And then we need to change this to be something like config. Architecture docs are here if you want to see it. No. It's just that I forgot that I was supposed to do this. So I actually don't have a super good option for this right now. In the sense that, like, I don't have a super good way to say this. Because I think for config right now, all we have is, like, Lua things we want to execute. Okay, maybe this will work. Config. This should be at call. Require Mason LSP config dot setup handlers, and then handlers. I think this. Maybe this will work. No idea, but it's worth trying. Oh, I was so hoping that was gonna work. What does it think this is? When we're looking for config. What are we doing right now to get config? Module configs. Plugin setup query. We get block module config. Okay. Inspect tree. We probably should have double checked. Yeah, that is illegal. That's what I was wondering. That is illegal. What if we do this? Config. Is this legal? So if config is a rule set, like a block, then we'll just evaluate each of these. Okay, that's not so bad. I don't think we're gonna do that. I don't think that will work right now though, because the way that we have this set up for this is module config. Well, here we can just check and see, I guess. Oh, but this isn't. This is for setup. What about for config? Full declarations. Yep, that's not powerful enough to catch this. Should I start writing docs for the project? I don't know. I mean, I'll accept PRs for docs. But the problem is I might change stuff still. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still thinking about maybe I don't like the way that we did something before, right? So, all right, so let's do evaluate plugin config. Let's actually put these after here, right? And then we'll take this and we'll go to plugin setup here. And let's go ahead and yoink this. It's going to be very similar to this idea. This is evaluate plugin config. We'll go here. Oh, oh, right. This is config block. Config items. Okay. So then this is 33 here, and this should items. Okay. And so now this should be here, and this should say config. Actually, attempt to call config a table value. All right. So now we have multiple config options. Right. That was on line 519. This should be for I guess block config block for config in iPairs config block, and like this, they should all be functions afterwards. Config is a list of functions, I guess. I don't know. Probably should flatten that later, but it's okay. No more permanent thing than a temporary solution. It's true. Attempt to call local a string value. Okay. Okay. Print vim inspect plugin.config. Module Mason tools. Wait, that shouldn't be. Oh, items. Module name, module. This is plugin setup. Okay, we'll hodl this for a sec. Yep. Well, there's definitely nothing more permanent than a temporary one where we're just memeing. You know what I mean? Like, cause I'm not gonna come back to this project, most likely. You know? Like, once we're done and the memes have been completed, it's unlikely that anything else is gonna happen. Background or table got function. Okay. Right, this is too many. This should just be config, and this should just be here, and that should be good. And then this, where we go to the type of this, should be just this, I think. Okay, that's fine. Function. Beautiful. Possible in Golang. Already more complex than what I've coded ever. That's okay. That's okay. Regardless of where main.go is present, that can be run from a directory. No, I don't think so. There's some, dude, Go for some reason chose the most confusing possible way to do so much random stuff. I don't understand. Where else do we have config? So this is working because we're getting Tokyo Night as our color scheme. That's good. That's good. What we also need to do then is we need to get this to work. So here's where, oh no, do we have an error? Wait, why do we have an error here? This should be a block. How do you write go and you run out of 24 single letter variables? That's a tough question. Usually then I just start going A1, A2, A3, A4 if I run out, but sometimes you got to go back and maybe even throw in a little bit of like AA, AB kind of situation. Would you store document info in the AST for a parser, or you can be positioned with that next when you need to? It depends on the project, I guess. I don't know. Next meme project, embedding Lua U into Neovim. What's up, Dunk? Okay, so this doesn't work. Why is this one an error? Block, rule set, selectors, tag name. Why wouldn't this work? The block doesn't work because we have this inside here. Or should we have at call? Nope. Still broken. Still broken. Oh, shoot. It's because of these stupid brackets. Dang it. For stupid. That's something with the CSS. Did this get fixed? Did anyone respond to me on Tree Sitter CSS for this? No, nobody did. Okay. Because that is going to really break things. That's going to really break things. How can we fix this? What is the Unicode escape character for this, maybe? Picture, it's going great. What about you? Because I think I can do that, right? Can we store Lua? I can fix it. Nice. Can I store Unicode escape? Was it like escape sequences? Or no, Unicode character. Can I use Unicode character codes in Lua strings? Right, that's what I want to do. Most approachable coding streamer right now. Well, thank you. That's really nice of you. Does this really work? Does this really work? I didn't think this worked in Lua. Oh, it totally does. Okay. So what if we change these underneath the hood before we evaluate this? Whoops. What's the Unicode escape for this? Okay. So if we put this inside of here, right? Right? Then this, we get this. Okay. So trick I'm thinking of. We put this here and we go back to when we do evaluate. This is so dumb. Like I hate this, but what can you do? Right? So we're going to go text is text G sub this with this. Wait, but how do I do this inside of CSS? Oh. Can I do this inside of CSS? What do I do to put in a Unicode thing inside of CSS? Now I don't know. How to put Unicode escape in CSS. Okay, so I just do a backslash and then the thing, right? So if we do this and we just change this to here, G sub this with, I have that Hacktoberfest shirt, the exact one. Yeah. But is yours see-through? I don't think so. It's literally in the code. I don't know if this is right. Okay. So when we do this, right? It's on a green screen. Oh, true. That makes sense. slash 007B. Something like this. Slash 007E. Okay, so now it's fine. Now it doesn't care. So that's good. So when we do this here and we have this going on, it really doesn't like that for some reason. It just gets scuffed. But we can fix that. Because when we parse this text, we can do this. That's good. We go through here, blah, blah, blah. Evaluate CSS value, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So now, though, REPL. Lua doesn't have raw strings. It the problem is the CSS parser is broken for some reason. I don't know. Tried to get the later ones and failed. I got a few of the other ones. I just didn't need more shirts mostly. Isn't gonna replace brackets in keymat? Oh, you're right. Yeah, it'll replace it everywhere. You're totally right. That would be really dumb. That is really dumb. That's not a good strategy. This is a bad strategy. It's a bad strategy. Yep. This won't work at all. Ugh. Do you use Tmux? No, I don't. Not because I think it's bad, just because I don't. I don't have any other reason to. But like in a browser, it doesn't matter. Like you can just put a string with those in. In CSS is there anything special about in a string? Like I think it's just bad. I think it's just the grammar is scuffed. Which that kind of sucks. Because how are we gonna? This is gonna definitely cause some issues. Change. How do I change around? Oh, it's F. SR this. SR this. This still gets an error, which is crazy. I guess we could pick something. We could pick something goofy to replace these with. But the problem is, like, with this, then we get an error. Instead of getting declaration, property name function, this, we get this. That's crazy. We literally are so scuffed. I don't know how to solve this. And I think it's literally just this guy. I'm imagining it doesn't. It's still broken if I put two of them. It's broken if I do this. Dang. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, the project's getting scuffed because the official tree sitter CSS parser is broken. I mean, we could try and fix it still. I tried briefly and it wasn't super obvious why it didn't work. Which is annoying. CSS can't scuff syntax parser. Exactly. but we need some other alternative way to solve this, right? So it's like, what's option number one? Option number one, we can't just replace them everywhere because they'll get scuffed. Can we find a way to replace them only inside of strings? We could do hacky regex to look for lines that start with things that start with a single quote, go into there, and then change until they get that one. Because like when we evaluate this in Lua, what we want it to be, right, is we want it to say, shoot, what was it in Lua again? It was this way, right? Okay. Just trees to replace them. We can't. It's broken. It's broken. Otherwise, I would. We don't have enough of the tree, and you can't really. It's difficult to query broken ones. So here's my idea. Okay, so we'll go like this. We'll go like this. We'll go lines. Local lines is this. For I line in I pairs line do end. So what do we want to find? Line equals line G sub. So we're looking for anything that starts with a here. What do you escape the character? Street grammar still break for that? Yes, it does. Unfortunately, and literally anytime it sees it, it's broken. As soon as I remove that, it's happy. So you can see the error popping up right here. When I remove it, it's good. When I put it back, it's dead. So what we could try and do, even escaping the escape, yeah, it's just, I think it's something like wrong with the tree sitter grammar. It has some wrong precedence where whenever it sees this, it beats string values. Do you need this to be multiline or anything within? So I'm thinking if we can do this, we can just find the first time we see a single quote string here like this. So we'll go local IDX is 1, right? And then we'll string.find line, and we'll look for a single quote here. 0 true, sure. So then we're gonna go while local character is string sub this, while IDX not equal to this, do end, and we'll say if character equals this, then end. We should write this a different way. Local new line is this. Local IDX is 1, I guess. While IDX less than line do end. Local inside single string false. Local inside double string false. If inside single string, then if this and inside single string is false, else if line sub is this, new line is new line. Okay. New line is new line. U007B, something like this. Else new line is new line. Lines up here. Else if it's a double string Whoops. Else and if line this. Whoops. Inside single string is true. New line here. Else if. And when we're done, lines I equals new line. And then now we can do lines. And let's just do print text and return. Oops. May have forgot to increment the number. May have forgot to increment the number, chat. I think we can actually just do for idx equals 1 to line. I think that's actually better. Okay, so now we want to go find... See, this isn't right. This is not right. We didn't do something right here. Inside, oops, double string. I don't know how to fix it. It seems annoying, and then I have to wait for it to get released and a bunch of other stuff too, right? So instead, we're going to see if we can hack it to be right there. Hey, look at that. I believe that if we do this, then we should get back when we have if text. When we get this back and we are at function, then I'm hoping print body. Let's see what happens. Body? I don't know. I'm actually not sure if I'm printing that or not yet. Well, it didn't error. But you have a... Oh, shoot. You're totally right. I might just be literally stupid. You're totally right, because this one uses that again as an escape sequence. All right, so we'll just pick something instead that we can uniquely globally replace when we're about to evaluate as a string. Okay, smart. So where do we do local text is this. So this doesn't work, obviously, because when we put this guy in here, it's going to break. So that would be stupid. Only an idiot would think that this would solve the problem that we have. Unicode. Well, actually, in this case, then we can just say something dumber even, like Tailwind, Unicode opening brace. Tailwind, Unicode opening brace. Did you check the GitHub roaster? What? Oh, the thing that, the dumb AI thingy? Unicode. So hopefully we should see... Yeah, I saw it. I thought it was fine. So then, okay, so then when we get to the evaluating the string text, we can just replace this. Yeah, I thought it was fine. It's so good. I don't know. To be honest, I'm mostly bored of the snarky AI stuff. Like, it just is not really that impressive. Or, I don't know. I don't think it's that funny. It didn't even pick good stuff for me. It just, like, clearly... It just... You can just see exactly how it's implemented, which is boring, too. Because it, like, says how many repos you have, right? It's like, oh, so they just pulled random, like, 10 different things as RAG. Said, hey, be really funny and make fun of someone. I don't know. It just, I think it's fun. Like, I'm not like against it. I just think it's pretty boring, mostly. Okay. So when we have this, we basically need to take something here, and everywhere we had Vim, tree sitter, get node text, we need to change this to get text here, and then we need to make our own function, local get text function is vim.treesitter.get node text, which is node source opts, node source opts, local text is this, and then text g sub Unicode, fill in Unicode opening brace with this, return this. Okay, so let's try this and see if this works. So what should happen, true, it's boring because the concepts are kind of similar, repo count follower. Right. You know what I mean? It's like, so it's, I feel like it's really funny the first one that you see, right? And then you like, you see 3 other people's and you're like, oh, it's all exactly the same. So that part, like, you know what I mean? So it's not, I don't have any sort of like, I don't know. Like I said, I don't, it's not like I hate it. You know what I'm saying? It's amusing to know it doesn't roast Torvalds. I'm probably, my guess would be they hard coded that. Like that would be my guess. You know what I mean? That's what I would do if I wanted it to go viral. Is I would put it in the prompt. Right. Like the best AI. And it turns out it's just an if statement again. All right, so now we need to check something. We need to, how can I easily verify this? Where do I have something where we're actually doing the, delete it, that's fine. Okay. Where are we doing something? Oh, I should be able to check it in something like this for description, right? Where we say set localist. Leader queue. Init Lua. LSP info. Lua require this. LSP info. Lua vim.lsp.start. Name is Lua ls. Something like this. Is that what I need to do? I don't remember. Click personalized message and kind of be like, hello, plus name you entered. Intriguing at first. Yeah, like I said, it's not. Yeah, I don't have any sort of like, you know, problems with it or something. It's just sort of one of those things that I find a bit. It's not as funny after I've looked after it happened more than one time. Global thing is this. Hello equals true. Okay, let's try this. And this would be leader R. Nmap leader R. Oops. Leader R. Lua equals. Oops. Global thing. Okay, sweet. So it is actually working, which is, this is a great strategy, chat. It's a great strategy. We've solved the problem of this not working, and now we can do this again, which is hilarious, right? So when I'm looking at this inspect tree, we need to go back to here, and we do need to find this block with a declaration, property name, and some call expression here, okay? So we are pretty close to this, but I think we did not do... Does this still work? Okay, so we can still do config this way. I think it was better when we do it kind of like this. Which do you guys like better? Because I feel like it's nice when we do... What have we been doing otherwise? Special ones have pseudo class selectors because it's kind of like we're selecting a class. Okay, so let's try this. Let's go back to where we do items now that we have this. And I want to take this whole idea here, and we should probably write a test for this, but that's okay. We'll sort this out in a second. Okay, so let's say we go here, right? And we go to plugin setup query. What does this one look like? Oh, right. This gets us all the config ones. Yep. That makes sense. So this is config setup query, and this should be config. This is the pseudo class collector, and then we get the block. That's great. So now this is config setup query here, module name, module config. Oh, but this doesn't have... This is just config that we want to run here. So we actually don't need the name. When we go back to here, we don't need to get pseudo class selector. It should just have a class name. Yes. And this should probably, we should probably change this to config. And then this should be config like this. Okay. When we go back to here, then we don't need this module name. We have the module config. And then this should be something like this. Eval block as table. So this might not work, but it should be a little bit closer at least. Attempt to index a nil value. Fail win 336. Is this project like pre-made comp.css Lua files, or just literally I make my own CSS file? Yes, after we're done, you can literally just make your own CSS file. This is not like a hard code, the solutions here. You'll be literally like, you just load a CSS file. So you could even distribute a distribution with CSS files. And hilariously, phase 2, I think we should add like @import teach dot something. You know what I mean? Like, or something like this. We can add URLs, and you could even import other people's CSS configs. So we're like not that far away from that. You know what I mean? Like we're getting, it's just like a few, or whatever the import syntax is. I don't remember what the import syntax is, but we could totally do some other shenanigans, right? Vim is fifth most used IDE. Oh, it's cool. Nice. Plugin setup node module config IDX. Module config IDX. Module config. Block. Rule set. LSP config. So what does this look like? This is config. Then we have a block here. Yep. That's the block that we want, right? So we should have a pseudo class selectors. Selectors here. So we have selectors. Pseudo class. I should just. What am I doing? I can just check what this looks like. Okay, so we get module config. That's good. That one should be good. Config, query, plugin, setup node. Module config IDX. Did I not call it module config anymore? I called it module config. What? And it's right here. Eval. Oh, that's because I'm just trying to eval this as a table. Of course, right. Okay, so now, instead of doing this, let's actually just go like this. We can go local config node is this. So now we have a config node. What are we going to do with the config node? Each one of these needs to be a function. It needs to be turned into a function, basically, right? So that we can call it later. So this is basically like, okay, we have this function here. This should turn into a function that's going to do this. Okay. It'd be cool to write a website with NVim and use the same CSS file for the config of the website. But like, they don't really match at all. What are they going to do? We're not setting like anything with them. You know what I mean? What up, Jersey? Okay. So What we need to do is we need to get this as a config that is a function. That's what we want to do. Each of these should be functions here. So how can we do this? We get a config node here. Print config node. Yeah, that's fine for right now. And then we'll try this all in a test shortly. Attempt to index a nil value. 336. 336. Plugin setup node. What? Print vim. User data 1, user data 2. Okay. Module config IDX. Oh, shoot. Config setup query. This is why you don't want to do all these in the same file, but that's okay. At least we need to make loud these using themes. Yeah. I do want to do some actual styling using real CSS shenanigans. Yes, that part will be funny towards the end, and doing some like style sheet stuff would be, I think, like pretty hilarious. Yes. Okay, so now we have... Where are we? We have some other prints that we really don't need. Okay. Okay, great. Boom bop boom ba doom boom bop boom bop ba ba doom boom bop boom bop boom ba doom boom bop boom bop boom 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 bop boom bop boom boom. You know, Teach is actually the name of a festival in my country. I heard that. Yeah, I heard that actually. Someone has told me that before. It's crazy that people all over the world are hanging out here. I still can't believe that. Let's do eval block as table to evaluate block as table. This, and then let's go local evaluate. I've centered div in Vim top to Google search. Exactly. We're going to make centering a div. We do need to somehow include centering a div inside of here. I don't know what. I guess people now know Europe is a place. I've heard of it before. At call. So here's where we need to... Because this, we want to turn this into a function, and it will get evaluated shortly. So that's good. That's what we want to do. So let's just... Do we use anything interesting inside of here? I don't think so, right? Evaluate block arch table. Right? This is action equals evaluate call statement. So let's go ahead and go here. Evaluate call statement function. Child source. And parser. And then we can just do return this function. Okay. Evaluate call statement. This needs a parser, source, and child. Great. Okay, so we want to do the same thing inside of config items, where we say, let's go ahead and do local, we'll say F, sure, is here. F's in the chat, of course. Source, this should be text, and then child, I'm thinking. Oh, this is only if it's a post CSS thing though. Okay, well let's just hodl this for a second, see what happens if we do this. I don't know that this is right, but that's okay. Table inserts F. Okay. Can current get state be considered as a first version? What do you mean? Must have a rule set. Okay, so we did not get the right thing in here. So this should be this child in the block, right? I'm not committing to anything in any way for what is there currently, if that if that answers your question. For child in this, yep. What's roadmap for a project? I don't know. So far I'm having fun, so we'll keep doing it. At some point we're gonna get close enough to do the main roadmap would be we can do everything that's inside of Kickstart, or approximately everything that's in Kickstart inside of CSS, and then we'll make a video about it. And then after that I have no idea what I'll want to do with it anymore. Oh, set up handlers. Oh, this just needs to be like this, right? Dang, that's still not getting configured. I have no idea if this is working or not. It's very hard to tell if these are working because print calling function text vim inspect arguments. Okay. Calling return handlers with nothing though. Ah, so that's a problem. This needs to have Lua ls inside of here. That's not right. That part's not good. We didn't call it with Lua ls. Okay, so we'll try this in a second. Why are we doing though? For fun. Would you be willing to take PRs for Group Buddy? I love the scheme. Would love to do PR. Yeah. I mean, PR for some popular tools like Kitty. Oh, wait, what do you mean? Oh, you're just saying like adding highlights for Kitty things or Obsidian? I mean, probably, yeah. Ruben, I don't know. Can you deliver shareholders' expectation in 2 working weeks? Yes. Do we have a Jira board? We do. I do feel like this project does need more Jira. Maybe, do you guys want to join my Microsoft Teams chat for this, or what do you want to do? Anybody want to join my Microsoft Teams chat? Setup handlers, class name, block, declaration, property name. Okay, so we have a block here. Rule set, node, name children. Rule set, node, name children, block. And then inside of here, we have evaluate block as table. Okay, well, let's just go print get text rule child source rule child. Rule child. This should be here to here. Yeah, so we have this. We have this whole block. Okay, we have this whole block. Evaluate block as table. Why would this... that's pretty interesting. We'll have to go back. Not MS Teams! Sorry, I only do Skype. Actually, guys, we're very agile. We're a Mumble-only company. Mumble-only. Oh, Finance 600, what's up? Hey, thanks for the raid. Well, what were you up to today? Were you up to any OBS shenanigans today, or? Working on my new plugin dev, the quick access utility. Oh, interesting. Hey, did you play any games? Occasionally. The only game we've been playing lately is Balatro. But mostly we just stream random shenanigans. My name's Tej, by the way. Today, we're... you may have heard of Neovim. One's in the chat if you've heard of Neovim. But... today we were thinking, what if instead of using a sane language like Lua to configure, we configured Neovim with CSS? So we're making a way to write CSS and it configures your Neovim for you. So that's what we've been up to for the past few days. And if you ask why, the main answer would be why not? Right? That's the real question you need to be asking yourself. We have the power of Turing complete machines, right? We should use them for whatever makes us laugh. Then this is definitely making me laugh. So that's why we're doing that. So anyways, that's literally what we're doing. Calling Lua function 1. I thought for sure Vim schedule Vim defer fn. For FN. Sorry, I'm in the middle of thinking, which doesn't happen that often. Require Mason lsp config dot setup handlers. Lua ls is function. Require lsp config dot lua ls dot setup. That's kind of what I thought was gonna work. Init Lua LSP info attached. Okay, cool. So there's something going wrong there, but we'll get there. Docs and Confluence, of course. Is there a way to open file in Neovim on the last edit position? Yeah, I think there is something even in the docs about how to set that up, but I don't remember what it is offhand. You can like save it in maybe in Shada, help SHADA. It might be in one of these. I don't remember. Okay, so we have config. We get to here. We go to call. We have call expression here. Setup handlers. We should get to our block here, right? And so we're inside of our block, and we should have a declaration with a property name and a call expression. So that's the part that I'm not understanding. How do we not get? Because we get to here, we do get this rule child, but then we don't have anything that gets. We just don't grab anything from these arguments, which is surprising. So that's what we need to figure out. So we'll go to evaluate block as a table. Maybe this isn't exactly right. Because it has a declaration. Else error invalid declaration. I don't know, is that happening? Nope. So, because we're here, we get to here, we get to a declaration block. We're in a block. What happens when we get to for child? We probably should be erroring here if we don't. Else error string format unknown block type. Yeah. Unknown block type error. Oh, okay. Unknown block type error, user data 1. What? That is not right. That's not good. Oh, those probably shouldn't be there. Oh wait, okay. Right. We gotta cancel doing this for a little bit to see if this is actually working. Oh, it's definitely not working because we're not getting what we want when we see this here. So we go to here and we're just getting nothing there. As always, just use auto command. Yeah, that works too. Well, we should get an error here. Like, this should definitely just not work. Call this. It should be calling setup handlers. But we're getting no arguments. We're getting no arguments. Okay. Have our block. Have our declaration with a property name and a call expression. Declaration here. Evaluate CSS value. Oh, I bet it's setting to nil. If property value equals nil, then and error. No, this should just never happen. Right? Like toNumber, property name, text, if it's Lua, if it's function. Oh, we need to assert that this works. Must load a valid function reference. I bet it's this. Nice. Okay. So we go back to here. Okay. Wait, what was it again now? Okay, so we have this. LSP info. No, so it still didn't. Oh, it's not calling these. Or it's too many deep? It doesn't seem like it's ever calling this. Print, I am calling you now. Right? Shouldn't this get called at some point? Config items. I'm worried that this is... Oops. Module Mason LSP config not found. Finally, we're getting somewhere. This is finally getting called, is it not? If I ever start streaming and programming, what should I avoid doing? I don't know. Not talking to chat, mostly. Okay, but this must not have been good, right? Because what are we putting inside of here? Evaluate call statement. This should turn into a function, right? Do I need to make this into Lua? That doesn't seem right either. That seems like it's going to be bad. Oh, no way. Setup handlers. No, this isn't right, though. This needs to still be a function. This should definitely be a function. But I'm doing something wrong there. But this is actually working now. So if we call this back here, and we put this here, right? And we go to here, and now we open up init Lua. We're gonna get... We have LSP working, chat. We have LSP working, okay? Like, we got Lua LSP to turn on for this. Okay, let's try and do this. Let's try and do this for another language. What would be another one? Easy one would be like go please. That one's simple, always works. Go please. I'm pretty sure you do this, right? Go please. So now when we open this up again, unknown CSS value, import statements layer. Wait, did I scuff something? Oh, does this not work? Oh, this probably needs to be... Oh, I can't do this? What is this actually an error or no? This should be two things, right? Where is it erroring? Error detected while going here. CSS value error. I thought that would work. I don't think it's this. Do I have any errors inside here? I don't need this one anymore. Error. Oh, these have to be. Ah, got it. Yep, that makes sense. That makes sense. Right, those need to have commas because they're grid values. Okay. Invalid declaration. In function here, evaluates. Invalid declaration. Oh, because there's multiple of them. Oh, there's multiple here? This song is a jam too. Oh, is it just... I think it's just because I was missing this. It's installing Go. It's installing Go, please. Oh my goodness, chat. Okay, so now if we opened up, like, let's go cd temp. Do I have like a go this one? That's fine. Package, maths, go.
Sunday mornings and midnight lights turn into songs that you watched me write. Stole your soul around that night. You took a picture. You can just put it in. You know what I'm saying? It's just like say.
It's just like that's all you need to do, right? So that's totally fine. In fact, I think we can even do the LSP config.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Exactly, Clam. Exactly. Thank you for understanding. Let's try this. I don't know if we've actually done this one yet or not, so we'll just go like this. I actually don't know how to write this in this scenario. How would we write this? Is there a web development section on Twitch we should switch to with all the CSS? I'm thinking about it, yeah. I finished my first config for the first time. Nice, Elias. Very cool. How would I write this? This feels like wedding slideshow music. It does a little. You're right. How would I write this? Because we don't really have a way right now of doing... I've been away. If you catch me up on the Mount of Curtain Rizz, will I die of an aneurysm? So right now, Nightshade, we have LSPs configured. Like this right here. This is all CSS. So this whole Neovim setup right here, where we can like, you know, search our dot files. We have telescope working. We have telescope diagnostics. You could just like, it's just working. You know, we could do. I don't have all the key maps set up right, but we could do like references, and we could find that this is set up inside of. It's like. You know, like that's how I feel. Telescope rewrite in CSS. Yes. Yes. We do need to figure out how can we do something here. Do you have an issue after creating a new buffer in netrw that need to add override? I don't know. I don't use netrw. Okay, I probably should go though. I didn't realize I'd already been streaming for 4 hours. We got to show Nightshade what we've been up to, so that's good. Calling Lua from within CSS, or am I misunderstanding? Yes, occasionally we do still need ways to describe what we're gonna do, although Hodl this could work. This could work. Does this work? This could work. Let's see. Attempt to call a table value. Dang, we scuffed it somehow though. At I think maybe we need like an at Lua like this. I don't think we have an at Lua, do we? No. I wanted to do something different though. I was trying to see, could we do it without writing strings, right? Like this still works, I think. Like this still parses. Oh, nice, way back. Very cool. We would just need to change this to be like at function. I just don't know. I don't know. I still have to decide some of the syntax. You know what I'm saying? Because this one still works. When we do this and we change this to be Lua, we change this to here, and then we do this. This will still work just fine. Whoops. Unknown block type comment. That makes sense. Unknown block type. Else if child type equals comment, then nothing. Pass. Boom. There you go. Okay. So the doye was pretty close. Pretty close there. All right, I gotta go though. Yeah. Could you do something like Lua require LSP config and then Lua ls? That part, it doesn't. I feel like it would be too crazy. Quick game of 10. Quick game of 10 of Balatro. Maybe some bridge. Maybe some bridge. No, I should go. I should go. Wow. Hey. Fancy meeting you here at the end of the video. Just go ahead, give it a smash. You know, wow, the like button. You can make fun of me in the comments for that one. I don't even care because you made it to the end of this video. Thanks, everybody. See ya.